Hey dear Ryker people, if you're watching this video, it's most likely because you are a bit interested in some saddlebags for Can Am Ryker. And here's the story. My wife and I, we have this Can Am Ryker. It's actually her bike, and we have this set of saddlebags, 3 saddlebags here installed for the Ryker. And my wife, she decided that she really liked the Ryker and she liked how it drives, but she would like to upgrade to a Spider. So she bought a Spider here the other day, and the dealer told us that when you sell your Ryker, you won't get anything out of the saddlebags or whatever extra you have installed. So we will simply take it off and sell it privately. And what I will do here, I will make a video of taking the whole thing off, and I'll show you how I pack every bolt and nut and washer in special Ziploc bags and mark them what they are for, so that it's easy to install again. So if anybody are interested in a set of saddlebags here from Sling Mods, it's a fantastic set. Then we will sell it for half of a new price, and I'll show you these bags here. They are good as new. They don't have a scratch or anything on them. So let me just give you a look at them here. And we can start here from the rear end so you can see the lights. So you have lights here on the sides, and you have lights here on the saddlebag, and they will give both the driving light but also the stop light and also turn signal. So that's really neat. You become very visible with these saddlebags. There are 3 bags. There are 2 side bags and a top bag, and this one here will actually fit a full-sized helmet. To be able to install this kit here, on top of buying the saddlebag kit, you need a product from Can Am that you can only buy from Can Am, and that's this here called the Max Mount. And that's what you install onto the seat, and then you install the saddlebags here on that. So that Max Mount we will sell as well, and the foot pegs for a passenger, those will come with it as well, and then the rear passenger seat as well. So the whole kit we are selling here is Max Mount, saddlebags, foot pegs, and the 3 saddlebags. Everything for half of new price if you are interested. So there are 2 different keys here for the saddlebags. There's one for the top bag and then one for the 2 side bags. These are separate keys. But let me just show you inside here so you can see how it looks. So here you can fit a full-sized helmet in. And there's a nice liner here on the inside, and you can see everything is like brand new. We have had them on for less than a year. I would say it was last summer I installed it, so a bit more than half a year they've been sitting on here, but they are in perfect condition. And let's take a look at the side bags as well. They have these 2 snaps here on the side, and then you can open it. Right, so there's this lock here as well. And as you can see, the side bags here, they don't have a liner, but they are nice and big as well. And you can actually store a lot here when you're on tour. We've used it for rain gear and everything else that we need to bring. So really a nice kit. And of course, when you have 2 seats now, you can actually ride with a passenger. You need to adjust your suspension here in the rear for the rear wheel, but so that you have it in the hardest setting. But then you can ride with a passenger here on the back, and there's a nice backrest, as you can see, for a passenger to sit here and handles to hold on to. And at the end of this video here, I will put a link from a video I made on how to install this whole set here. So if you're interested in buying this, you can watch this video and it will really in detail guide you through the whole installation process step by step. But here's what I'm trying to do. This is my plan to make it very easy for you to install it. I will document everything as I take it apart, and I will put everything in these small Ziploc bags, all bolts and nuts, and I'll write on it what belongs where. So it's easy for you to see what they are for, the different bolts that I take off. But I will also try to keep as much as possible assembled. So for instance, if you look in here, you can see the whole bracket assembly here sitting on the max mount. I will take that off in one piece as possible, so you don't have to assemble all of this. And the same with the wiring harness that runs here and goes up through the bottom of the motorcycle and comes down here on the swing arm and up into the light. I'll take that in one piece and leave it together in one piece, or it will actually be two, one for each side. But so that you're not in doubt about how to put the electrical together as well. So I'll try to do this as easy for you as possible. So by watching this video here and the other video about how to install, I think the whole installation of it should be extremely simple for you. So the very first thing I will do is I will take the wires that connects to these saddlebags here on the side. I will disconnect those, and you can see nothing is cut here. The whole harness is intact, and it will be when you get it, because everything is just put together with these small snaps here, you can see, and that's how the whole harness goes together. And now with this one here unplugged, I can take the saddlebag off. And to take off the saddlebag, you just turn this key here and you push the button, and now you can lift this saddlebag off, and you see that's the connection here we have for it, and it's just a snap connection. And I will do the same in the other side. And here you go. And you can see the saddlebags are even so new that the plastic here on the lock is still on, the blue plastic. So they are in really, really good shape, these bags here. And now for the top bag, you can see how I have routed all my wiring in here, and it comes up to the top bag on both sides here, and I have all that zip tied to the bracket. So I'll cut these zip ties so you get the whole wiring harness assembled here, and nothing has been taken apart, so it's very easy to mount it again. There's one on the other side I need to cut as well. Just take the camera here to the other side so you can see, because now you can see there is another snap block here that just comes apart, and that's the cable up to the saddlebag. So I'll do the same over in the other side. And now with the wires disconnected here, I put the lock in, and I should be able to push here. Did I lock it? No. And then I can take the whole bag off. So here you have the whole base plate for the top bag, and the two racks for the side bags, and the mount they sit on. This mount goes in under the passenger seat here, and I'll try to make all this here as one unit, not take it apart. All this came disassembled when I got it, but all this here we will take apart as one piece, unscrew it under the saddle, and that makes it easier to put together. And the seat just locks in with this push button here in the middle, so you push that down, yeah, and you can pull that off. And then here on this, the bracket for the whole passenger seat, you can see that's where the wires are, and they're just zip tied to that. So I'll cut these here as well. So when you mount this kit again here, make sure to have a lot of zip ties. That makes the install so clean. That's the best thing to do. Tie everything up carefully. And we have the same here on the other side. So this unit here, that's the max mount, and that's a BRP component. You buy it from BRP, from Can Am website. So that's something that has been purchased separate from the bags, and you need that to be able to install the saddlebags, and that includes also the foot pegs for the passenger. So now I need to get underneath here. There are some screws, and I loosen these 4 screws underneath. Then this whole unit with the racks for the saddlebags would come off. And to loosen those, you need some small sockets. I have a little socket set, and these here, they take a metric number 10. So I have to unscrew these. And this whole rack here I will leave assembled as one part instead of unscrewing all of this. So then there are only 4 screws to mount it up to the max mount. And these 4 screws, the 2 of them that have these cable or wire holders here, that's for the wires you route out up onto the seat. They go through there. So these 2 here, they need to be towards the front. There are 4 holes. But these 2 here that have those, they go to the front, and then the other 2 without, they go to the rear. I'll put them all in a Ziploc and put them separate here. And then I'll write on it that this here is for the rack, to this rack to max mount. So now they are clearly labeled. Rack to max mount. These are the 4 screws that goes up here and up onto the max mount. And next here you can see I have the max mount, that is the next we will take off. But before doing that, I'll take these wires that are here, went up to the saddlebags, and pull them back. They go through 2 holes that sits in the max mount here. So I'll just pull them back here. I hope they can get through. Oh, they cannot. I'll have to take them apart to get them through. So we'll just do this and put them together again, and we will do the same here on the other side. Just take the wire apart, and I pull it through back through the holes here, and we snap these back in together again. So with the wires off now, we can loosen this. And the max mount sits with some hex screw sitting there and there. So it's the Y3 that fits. Next we have these two screws there on both sides, and they hold like a bar that goes across. So we will have to loosen these here, and that is Allen wrenches. And they are, I think it's 5. Yeah, seems to be. That bar we just unscrewed sits here across, so just get that one out. It's this one here. And now the entire max mount should slide right out like this. So here that is. So with these screws here, these are the 4 for the max mount, 2 in each side. And then the 4 here for the cross beam underneath the seat. But I'll just take this here and put them in a bag we label max mount. In this bag here we have the 4 screws for the beam going under the seat, and we have the 4 for the max mount itself. And now it's time to cut the zip ties for the rest of the wire harness. You can see I have it zip tied to that beam here under the seat. All the wires, they run under here, and they basically follow the underside here of the swing arm. And they come up, you can see them here, how they are zipped underneath. I'll cut all these zip ties, and I'll unscrew this piece of plastic. It just sits with this one screw. Take this off, and they run up here and up to the lights. So we need to unscrew the lights, that's where they connect. But again, with these smart click connectors, nothing is soldered or anything, so very easy. Here on the rear side of the lights, you also have some small screws, and that's also the hex Y1 that fits there. So we need to take those off to get the tail lights off. And we have the same. No, we don't have the same in the other side, it seems. And that's because they are moved here to the other side. And this is also a hex, but it's the one that is just called 3, not Y3. So it's the one step down in size. And that takes that off. And we have one like that in the other side too. Sitting up here. Now we need this plastic piece off here in between the lights, because inside there are 2 screws more sitting holding the tail lights. So we need this off, and the screw from that sits underneath here in the middle, and that's a Y3 too. Now I should be able to take this here off. It kind of sits down in top, doesn't it? But it should be able to pull up here. Yeah, it does. You see, it just sits with these two there that are pushed down into some rubber bushings. So you just pull it up. And the last two screws holding the lights are these here. And they are Y2 hex. It's funny how they have used so many different sizes of screws. It could easily have been standardized a bit, but it is what it is. And now the light and the side panel comes off. And all that's left for me now is to put the lights and all this here back on. And just like that, all the saddlebags are off, and we are back to the standard look of the Ryker.